Okay, so I forgot to turn the audio on, but this week's. So we've been called to this boiler that needs a couple of issues sorting out. The flue has got a hole in it, and clearly it's HE, and it's been leaking back toward the boiler. And because it's a metal flue, bingo. So the customer's bought a new one, and this is the new one. It's all plastic, so both inner and outer, so no chance of this one degrading. He's also bought a plume kit for us to fit because apparently the neighbour had an issue with something on the old one. So this is the boiler. You may have seen this on a previous. It's a Sabre. Just taking off the collar. We're trying to remove the flue initially, so strap collar around the base, whip that off, and then take the flue to elbow collar off. Whip that off, give it a bit of a wriggle, and we go outside, pull the little plastic rubber sleeve off, and now it looks like we've got a chip round the outside. So we're going to give it a bit of a hammer up, old chisel, the usual. Clearly health and safety there. We're on the top rung, so take precaution. So whip this thing out, a few more bits of chiseling, and hopefully we won't be too long doing this. So on the old one, it would run back to the boiler, which is the way the manufacturer wants us to run them. And on the new one, we're going to do the same. But the problem is that that water will creep into that piece of steel. Now, steel rusts at about 1 millimetre every 10 years. So this is probably a good 8 or 9 year old boiler, I would have thought maybe. It's a B rated one. Bit of a twist, and we're good to go here. So we've got this one out now. And you can clearly see the hole there. So this is the plume kit. That's the top elbow that will go in, and a couple of other bits. And they give you some of this industrial talcum powder for lubricating it. The end bit on this is a flush one, so both the outer and the inner need to be done at flush. And that's the collar around it. Now I'll turn the sound on because I've totally forgotten. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, seal seems fine. So just offer this up and see what it looks like. So this is a first for me. So they give you a bag of talcum powder. Industrial talcum powder for the lubrication of seals. Give you 3 bags of it. We've got this just fitted in temporarily, and it's sticking out, and you can see that that's maxed out at the top, so that's as high as that can go. You can see there that we got it falling away nicely, yeah? So it's definitely falling away when it's maxed out. These are the bits of the kit. This goes in the end. That goes on, okay? You've got these 2 bits here. So one goes on there. They've got it so it goes like this. That is bulky, I have to be honest. So essentially we need that against there, vertically up there. Okay, so that's the kind of thing that they're after. We'll put a brace, check with the customer now. So now we got to work out what we got to cut off this. So if we put the level on here, as little as that. Yeah. Pop this round. This is just a temporary fit, yeah. Okay, we hold that there. Hope this is making sense to you guys. Don't forget we've got adjustment on this. So we can take 70mm off this flue. So when you're putting these flues together and you're not sure, put a mark on them. So when you take it apart, you can see how much it went in. And that is supposed to be like that, because I tried pushing it, and that's as far as it would go. Flue out. So you can see how much has gone in. Okay. Take your flue cutter, snap it round. Cut to that. Pretty good. If we put a mark there, that's our starting position. That's it just touching the flue. When you're unsure and you're working on your own, you have to take these kind of precautions. So I know that that is touching. Boy, I'm glad I got one of these. Slip that over, push it all the way around. That's a good tool for that.
Look at that. Work to treat. 100% that's in. Kids in the background. It's done. It's nice enough to cap it completely off the gas. So screws onto that. That's on. It's not my favourite design, this, I have to be honest. So these are drilled up in position. So now I can just tighten these up. Some days you seem to have real struggle doing the basics of things. I've had a few days where I've done jobs where it should have been super simple, but they've kind of caught me out. And we all get them. Key is that you just got to keep going, chalk it up to experience, and carry on. We got a really, really high rate of mental health within the construction industry. This job is no different. It's really quite stressful sometimes. You know, van stock, calendar, diary, all that sort of stuff. And then on top of that, you've got to remember, you know, all the basic stuff that you would. I used to have somebody take the piss out of me about that all the time. It's not a ladder, it's a set of steps. Who gives a shit? Takes you up in the air. Get over it. It's quite interesting that that flue is all plastic now, so clearly they learnt that wasn't the best design, was it? That's pretty solid. So we'll just give this a little dust off, tidy up. That's our flue done. And that's what it looks like from the ground. Unfortunately it sticks out, but not too bad at all, is it? Yeah. And because it points this way, I don't know why they would complain, but anyway, apparently they did. I worked with this guy once. He couldn't help himself. Any time he came to anything a bit suspect, suspicious, whatever, he would cap it off like this. So he'd just cap it. Everyone's different. Some people will cap it off, cut it and cap it, isolate it, all that sort of thing. Just it's covered it in gear as well. What the hell is this? God, it's like everything's covered in it. So we'll just put the coupling back on there. Check the integrity for the gas. But what's funny is he'd come here to change the thermostat because he'd worked out the thermostat needed replacing. And then clearly he didn't want to do either. He gave a quote for a new boiler, 2 or 3 grand, and then he just walked away, which is nice. Try not to burn the pipe. Gas back on. So we've got a couple more jobs to do. The customer has bought another thermostat because the original guy was called from the insurance company to replace this thermostat. But in his wisdom, he thought he'd condemn the boiler. I'm wondering if he didn't know how to wire up the thermostat. This is our new one, whatever that is, IT500. While we're at it, he'd also like us to change this. So this is a scale reducer on the system. Okay, tap on. Check for leaks. I never fitted one of these IT500 internet thermostat. Okay, so this is the thermostat, the bit that you put in the hallway or whatever, like so. I've never fitted one of these, but a switch is a switch in my head. These bits here, receiver, go with the, you know, the, what do they call it, the router. I always thought a router was something that you'd machined wood with, but what do I know? To replace, okay, there it is. So we'll screw this where the old thermostat was. Old stuff off the wall.
I was ill.
Put it straight back in. So we've got a little bubble in there. So we can do that.
I was shouting my body. I'm like, for 20 minutes. What's wrong with you?
Okay, so that's that.
I did.
Christ, I'm fucking hear myself think. I need a cup of tea. I haven't eaten anything all day. Okay, so this is wholesome. So I've got, I'm guessing that's the. Oh, that's all it would be, wouldn't it? It'd all be a guess at this moment. Okay, so look at this. Bloody hell. I mean, look at it. Just. So, let's give this. That didn't take much to get off. 3 is hot water on. Central heating is on. 3 and 4. I'm not the best at wiring. Anyone that's got better ideas than that, be my guest. This is not where I excel. Bottom line is that I have a basic knowledge of it and you have to do this game. So there's a cable here that supplies live, neutral and earth. Here we've got a set of cables. God only knows what the hell is going on with that. The key players here are these two, on and on. 3 will be hot. Will be either hot water or heating. So you've got a supply, live, neutral and earth, and this is your switching. Yeah, that's it. And I always cut individually, then that way, if there is a trip or something, you should be able to get away without it. Okay, so we look on this to try and work out what actual system we got. We don't have a volt-free combination. S-plan. That's two ports. Two ports. Yeah, so that one at the moment is looking good. Do we have a 230 volt Y plan? No. Combination? No. Volt free combination? No. So it's 3C. 3C. So in theory, I can't hear myself think. There are kids that are going nuts out there. I can't hear. I came to the sad conclusion that this was such a mess. I'm going to have to start again. It's late in the day. Cut all of this out. I realised that I've done 3 electrical jobs in the last 24 hours, and each one has presented itself with being an absolute pain. It's a whole heap simpler now, though. Got one cable on the right hand side. This would be the switch here. So one of these will be live, one of these will be dead, and it will come back. And on the other side, which is the thinner cable, appear to be that one, is the supply. Okay, so this is the finished product. I need to put this on here now and test it. This has been a real pain. I'm not used to kids screaming. Hopefully, I'm keeping my fingers crossed to utilise some of their old wine. I'll tidy this up in a minute. Can you hear what I've had to deal with all day? This is the switch that comes, the switch live that goes back to the boiler. So the idea is that I'll turn it on. If I check this, one of these, I think one of these will be live, which is coming from the boiler. Okay. So why have we got no volts coming out the boiler? Okay, so you've got terminals in here, so if we go off the live, 240 on there, 4 point whatever volts, and 42. So that must be no voltage. So we're back here. Essentially we've got 240 volts coming from the switch lives from the motorised valves, and in my wisdom I checked the switch going back to the boiler, and good luck that I did, because it's 0 voltage or very low voltage. Found one of these things on Arghs, and it's a 0 voltage thing. So essentially you've got 240 volts on one side and 0 on the other. So we're going to wire it up. This is the low voltage, this side here. Yeah, this is the switch side, and this is the energized 240 volt side. So in theory we would put these into here, but I'm going to test this first. So this was about 22 odd pounds, I think it was. But when you can't get a solution, £22 is nothing. And so this is going to be a 240 volt supply. So it makes no difference which way you put these in. So in theory, that'll be the energized side. So before you ask why I haven't used these bootlace ferrules on all of them, it's because I didn't have them there. I've come back another day. So this is the switch live, which will go into our orange over there, and this will be the neutral. Complete the circuit. Okay, so the nice thing about these bootlace ferrules is when you come to put them in here, tight places like this, you can quite easily squeeze them in, because the point on them is really quite stiff, so it goes in no problem at all. Our boiler on. Cooked just for me. Okay, so I'm going to do a test before I do anything, because I'm not, as I say, I'm human like you guys. So in theory you should have neutral there and live there switched. So on this controller here, you've got off, manual, auto, and you've got central heating or auxiliary, or central heating and auxiliary. So we're going to put it onto central heating. So in theory, that synchron motor should open, that one not, and that should liven up. So let's give it a go. Okay, switch off here onto menu. So down here, this should go to 240 volts in a split second when it gets all the way over. You should even hear a click. There you go. Perfect. We'll check the other side, see if there's any voltage. Okay, showing no volts, half a volt AC. So I'm going to take a risk. It shows 36 odd volts. Oh, it's fired up. So by touching those across on that, it's probably engaged it. But this is the first time I've done this. I don't normally make things this complicated, but I thought this would be an interesting one. Okay, so I've had to change that one over because, I don't know, it didn't like it. So boiler on, central heating, manual, boiler should fire up. Motorised valves opened. Should get a click. Bingo. That's how you wire up one of these. You should have heat going to it, which we do. Happy days. And also, because we've done it that way, this should, if we go onto off, it'll close. The pump will still run, so you haven't got any issues with the auto bypass. So that's a happy story.